Here are some effective techniques to enhance intimacy and understanding in your relationship, along with insights into the natural aspects involved. Have you ever felt unsure, maybe even embarrassed, because your partner experienced something unexpected during intimacy? Or perhaps nothing happened at all and you wondered if something was wrong with her or with you? You're not alone. Many couples silently struggle with this very moment where pleasure meets confusion and connection turns into awkwardness. But here's the truth. What you don't understand can quietly hurt the bond you've built. That's why today, as a caring doctor, I want to walk you through the science behind what's known as squirting. No myths, no judgment, just truth, understanding, and perhaps a deeper connection than you've ever known. It's important to acknowledge that many women may not experience a strong natural response to sexual stimuli. However, there are two effective techniques that can consistently enhance the likelihood of a positive experience. The periurethral glands, also known as the skin's glands, are located behind the pubic bone and encircle the urethra. When you gently explore the area beneath, just behind where the pubic hair typically grows, you will find a bone located there. That would be the pubic bone, correct? The front of the pubic bone is connected to the deep fascia of the clitoris. Gently pressing on the front of the pubic bone or the area just behind it can provide a wonderful sensation, as the deeper tissues of the clitoris are located in that region. The back of the pubic bone is connected to the periurethral glands, which are sometimes referred to as the female prostate. When you use your finger for exploration, it's beneficial to gently angle upwards and occasionally towards the pubic bone. This approach can help stimulate the periurethral glands, which are located on the vaginal wall. It's important to be mindful and attentive during this process. Does that seem clear to you? Taking a moment to consider this. If I were to present a small model of the clitoris, you might be surprised to learn that it is actually much larger than one might initially expect. Let's discuss the clitoris. So, if I understand correctly, you're referring to the clitoris as being represented by all this blue and purple. Is that correct? The clitoris is located at the top, dear. The clitoris plays a significant role in the structure of the vagina, as it forms part of the walls. When stimulating from within, it's important to remember that the clitoris contributes to the sensitivity of the vaginal tissue. You may begin to understand why reaching for higher goals can bring such a sense of fulfillment. It's important to keep in mind that this area is located just behind the pubic bone. That's precisely why engaging in activities like grinding and dancing can bring such joy. Wouldn't you agree? Due to this anatomical structure, nearly 3/4 of women report not experiencing orgasm during penetrative sex, and even less so with squirting. It's important to approach this with care. By gently stimulating the periurethral glands and the clitoris, you might find that a rhythmic movement, angled upward, can enhance the experience. Maintaining consistent pressure in the clitoral areas can lead to more satisfying results, even if certain outcomes aren't achieved. Remember, every individual is different, so it's all about finding what works best for you. It's important to ensure that there is some level of clitoral pressure, friction, or stimulation to help things progress. Wouldn't you agree? The second technique is one that is recognized by a specific term. There is a technique from Central Africa known as Kanyasa or Kakabali. This term essentially refers to the act of urination. This practice has been well documented, and studies have shown that the results have been truly remarkable. This refers to a practice where a man gently and consistently stimulates the glands of the clitoris. That would refer to the external area, specifically where the penis is positioned. What he is doing involves gently holding the head of his penis between his forefinger and thumb. He is gently applying it to the glands of the clitoris. He is moving it in a gentle, rhythmic manner, up and down, side to side, and even backwards, reminiscent of a graceful Sora-like flourish. In this technique, it's important to understand that there is a gentle process involved. It begins with a small amount of penetration, followed by a careful removal. Then, the focus shifts to the erect penile tissue, including the corona or head, which is rhythmically moved along the exterior of the vagina. This approach emphasizes a thoughtful and considerate method. Essentially, it involves stimulating those points on the exterior. Now, if you engage in a conversation with women and inquire about one of the aspects of intimacy that they particularly enjoy, what might they share with you? Many women often reflect on that initial moment when it begins. It appears that what some practitioners understand is that by giving careful and rhythmic attention to the clitoral tissue, there is a possibility of eliciting strong responses from women, leading them to express their desires quite passionately. This technique, which has been carefully documented and shared through generations, originated from a historical context where women expressed their thoughts, indicating that while it was appreciated, it wasn't quite meeting their needs. This technique has gained popularity quite rapidly, with men sharing it with their sons and nephews, while women are passing it along to one another. It has evolved into a practice that focuses on using the penile tissue to stimulate the clitoral tissue, without the need for penetration. After she experiences this release, they can use the fluid to enhance the intimacy of their connection during the act. This serves two important purposes. Indeed, it fosters a more profound bond between the two partners. Wouldn't you agree? It's important to remember that intimacy goes beyond just the physical aspects. Fostering a deep connection and ensuring that both partners feel fulfilled is essential for a satisfying experience. Understanding that women have the capacity for multiple orgasms and can experience pleasure from various sources is important. This knowledge helps create a positive atmosphere and lays a solid foundation for what is to come. If you have been contemplating the possibility of squirting and are curious about whether it might be right for you, it may be beneficial to explore one or both of these techniques. Incorporating them into your experiences could be worthwhile, keeping in mind that the clitoral tissue plays a significant role in this process. During penetration, it's important to focus on angling upwards to ensure you can reach the desired areas effectively. Let's discuss female ejaculation, often referred to as squirting. There remains an ongoing discussion regarding whether the release of fluid is indeed urine or something closely resembling the male ejaculation. However, we will discuss this matter, as it is regarded as uncommon and, in certain cultures, is even viewed as sacred. To ensure that you or your partner can achieve this, let's proceed thoughtfully together. In ancient Indian textbooks, female ejaculation was referred to as love juice. Over the past century, the scientific community has dedicated significant attention to understanding the composition of this fluid, which has often been considered to be either urine, diluted urine, or prostate fluid. Indeed, it pertains to prostate fluid. In this video, we will gently explore the composition of the fluid that some women may experience during squirting. We will also explore the anatomy that contributes to the phenomenon of squirting, as it is important to recognize that not all women experience this ability. Finally, we will explore two effective methods that can enhance your intimate experiences significantly. Now, let us begin our discussion. Let us begin by examining this study together. This study, while focusing on just women, provides valuable insights into the much-discussed topic of whether to pee or not to pee. Two premenopausal women were selected for the study. They were both in their mid-40s, at ages 44 and 45. Some women have shared their experiences of achieving a remarkable release during orgasm. It is advisable for individuals to collect urine samples prior to engaging in sexual activity. They needed to provide a second sample, which involved some personal stimulation to obtain the female ejaculate or squirting fluid. The fluid was examined in order to make a comparison with the urine sample. They also took that same fluid and compared it to male prostate fluid to determine what the fluid was most similar to. Would you say it resembled urine the most? Could you clarify if it was a mixture of urine, or if it resembled prostate fluid? For those who may believe that squirting is merely urine, I believe you will find this information quite fascinating. As you can observe, W1 represents female ejaculate, while on the far right, you will find male ejaculate. It's important to observe the levels of PSI or prostatic fluid in female ejaculate, which are noted as 213 and 105. In male ejaculate, the count typically ranges from 110 to upwards of 2,000, correct? There is a considerable amount of public service announcements affirming that this is indeed prostate fluid. Upon examining the differences between female ejaculate and urine, it becomes clear that there are not many similarities. This study suggests that female ejaculate is primarily a combination of prostate fluid and a small amount of urine, leaning more towards the characteristics of prostate fluid than those of urine. Very well. It seems we can conclude that when examining these two individuals, the insight gained is that it is quite similar to prostate fluid. Currently, the majority of scientific literature recognizes female ejaculation and squirting as two separate occurrences, each with its own unique context. Squirting can be understood as the release of a significant amount of a water-like liquid, which resembles urine, from the urethra. Female ejaculation is typically described as a smaller volume, often just a few millimeters, resembling a thick milky substance that shares a similar consistency with male ejaculate. It is believed to have its origins in the prostate glands. The glands in women that are similar to the prostate are known as periurethral glands. These are glands that are located around the urethra. It's likely that you are familiar with periurethral glands. These are also known as Skin's ducts glands, vestibular glands, and periurethral glands. All these terms refer to the same structure we are discussing here. As you observe this diagram, you will notice the clitoris positioned at the top and the urethral opening present as well. However, it's important to point out that there are elements often overlooked in many diagrams. It is located adjacent to the urethral opening on either side. There will be a small opening soon. These two areas are often referred to as the Skin's ducts, the periurethral glands, or the vestibular glands, depending on your preference. They are important as they represent the opening area. There seems to be some discussion regarding the source of the ejaculate or squirting fluid, and it's important to approach this topic with care and understanding. Is it coming directly from the urethra, the passage through which urine is expelled? Could it be originating from the two glands located on either side of it? A scientific article from 2015 examined the squirting fluid from 7 different women and concluded that it is an involuntary release of urine during sexual activity. Back in 2015, a study gained significant attention, leading women's magazines globally to feature headlines stating that squirting is simply urine. According to scientists, it certainly can be quite confusing regarding the nature of this fluid. It's important to approach such topics with an open mind and consider the various perspectives that exist. Allow me to present to you a model of the reproductive tract that I have assembled. This is a model that has been made at home. What you see here is what we refer to as the vaginal opening, correct? The vaginal opening is located at the top, dear. It's important to understand its position for your overall health and well-being. This is what we refer to as the urethral opening. Now, if I place this model back here for you, I would like you to take a look at the urethral opening and the vaginal opening, alright? This area here is what we refer to as the bladder. What you see in this model pertains to the area around the urethra. This colored section indicates the periurethral glands. The periurethral glands are a system of glands that are located around the urethra. As sexual stimulation takes place, these glands begin to fill up. Those two openings I mentioned, which are visible when observing the vulva, serve as the external communicating parts of the ducts. These ducts are located around the urethra. As stimulation takes place internally and angles upwards, it is important to note that you are also engaging the periurethral glands that encircle the urethra. When you angle upwards, you may notice a sensation that resembles the urge to urinate. This occurs due to the pressure on the bladder, as the urethra serves as the connecting tube from the bladder. Just as the prostate surrounds the male urethra, the periurethral glands similarly encircle the urethra in women. It's quite fascinating to observe how, as the clitoris and the periurethral glands become engorged, there is an increase in blood flow to that area. Your glandular system appears to be accumulating excess fluid, which may require some attention. As tension and pressure begin to build, sometimes accompanied by friction, the experience of orgasm can take place. The elasticity of the glands, which move rhythmically alongside the contraction of the walls of the vagina, urethra, and pelvic floor, plays a significant role. This coordinated contraction assists in propelling fluid forward, much like how the prostate in males aids in this process. Please take a moment to like and share this video. Your support is greatly appreciated. I look forward to seeing you again soon.